Hello world! Today we are broadcasting from Mud Island, Memphis, Tennessee, USA, and we're going to cover a book called Outliers, The Story of Success by Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm Gladwell is a best-selling author, but beyond that he's a scientist and he's very honest and open, not only about society in general, but about his own family as well. And we'll get more on that later. But we want to talk about Outliers, The Story of Success. First of all, what is an outlier? An outlier is something that is different and uniquely different from other things in its same category. So what makes an outlier in the world of IT or music, or in the world of athletics, or any other endeavor you want to talk about, academics? We're going to talk about those things and what makes them successful, not only from the perspective of what an individual does, but also on how does culture impact it. So we're going to look at three main things: the accumulation of advantages, we're going to look at the 10,000 hour rule, and we're going to look at the cultural traditions of our forebears and talk about each one. So the first thing is we're going to look at the accumulation of advantages. And I won't tell the whole book, I'm not going to give it away, but he uses some facts and data to show you that of all the richest people that have ever lived, 20% of them lived in a 9-year span and were born in the mid-1800s. What was going on? There were advantages. Wall Street was just being formulated, and the U.S. completed the railway system, was putting that together, and people made a fortune. People made massive fortunes at that specific time. Had they been born too soon, they would have been stuck in the pre-Civil War paradigm, says Gladwell, and had they been born too late, they would have missed the opportunity. He also gives another concrete example using the world of computers. The personal computer came about in 1975. What age would you be born in to be a young adult in 1975, just coming out of school, ready to make your career? You'd be born from 1953 to 56. Look at men like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and Stephen Ballmer and Paul Allen and all these great people in that field. They were at the right place at the right time. Yes, they worked very hard and they were very brilliant, but they are also at the right place at the right time. Speaking of working very hard, let's talk about something. It's one thing to be brilliant at your endeavor, but somebody has to give you the opportunity to be great and to be brilliant. And we'll talk about the famous example with the 10,000 hour rule. Bill Gates, he was able to put in hours and hours and hours of programming from the time he was an 8th grader, which was unheard of before that, because 8th graders didn't program computers in the 1960s. It wasn't even thought about. It was a ridiculous concept. But he was in the right place, and his mother gave him the right support. The city that he lived in had the right resources in place, and he had the drive to take advantage of all those things and make himself above and beyond other people who were considered very bright and very talented people. It was very special. When we talk about the 10,000 hour rule, we talk about supergroups like the Beatles and what made them special. A great situation. There was a club owner in Germany that needed more talent. He went to London to look for British bands. Somebody from the Beatles' hometown of Liverpool happened to be in London and gave them a recommendation. Had that chance encounter not met, the Beatles would not have had a chance to perform at a place where nobody else had been performing. They would not have been forced to work on material that was beyond their number 1 or number 2 best songs, and they would not have developed the stamina to be great at what they were doing. So that's another example of the 10,000 hour rule. So we talked about the accumulation of advantages, we talked about the 10,000 hour rule, and we're going to talk about the cultural traditions of our forebears. I'm going to give you a point and a counterpoint. A lot of people say, well, why are some groups so great at math? And why are they so much better than other groups? There's nothing genetic about it. Gladwell says there's nothing genetic about it at all. It goes back to the cultural traditions. Look at the difference between the farming traditions of South China and the rice paddies, and look at the farming traditions in the United States with the wheat and with corn fields. Completely different endeavor. Gladwell says that it's 10 to 20 times more labor intensive to farm a rice paddy and farm it to profitability. 10 to 20 times more labor intensive, which means that there's more thought involved, there's more physical labor involved, there's less margin for error, and that means that it's a constant thought, it's a constant grind. And even in the winter season, there are things that they are doing to stay more busy than traditional European farming tradition, or the traditional American farming tradition. Now, this is where he's going with this, but he's saying that math is not about talent, it's about hard work. And people who are experts in math get to the point because they are willing to persist to solve the problems. They are willing to put the time in to fight through the complexities of a complex equation. And that's where the correlation is. Another concrete example is he takes a school that was founded and placed in the poorest neighborhood, one of the poorest neighborhoods in the United States of America, in the South Bronx. There's a school called the KIPP Academy. Now this KIPP Academy holds a lottery for kids in that neighborhood, and if you're blessed and fortunate enough to get in to the academy, you can put yourself on a completely different trajectory. Now this school does things a little differently. They start at 7:15, they get out at 5. People have to make lifestyle changes and sacrifices to be able to go to this school. They may get up earlier than most kids in their age group across America. They may go to bed later than most kids in their age group across America. And they probably spend a lot, not probably, they definitely spend a lot more time in school than most kids their age across America. So that's the KIPP Academy, but they have had proven results of success because they have, been able to go through the tedium, if you want to say that, or just go through the drudgery, if you want to say that, or you might just say they found a way to make learning fun where they don't mind putting in that time and hours. So again, the accumulation of advantages in life, in addition to your individual talent and your drive, is important. Putting in the 10,000 hour rule and putting in 10,000 hours, which equates to putting in 4 hours every weekday, 4 hours every weekday for 10 years. So 10 years of practice, or 10,000 hours of practice to get where you want to go is critical, and it's a big idea of the book. And also, the cultural traditions of your forebears have an imprint on you. He's got multiple examples of that. I just picked a couple. But one thing I like about Gladwell is that he talks about his own life and how he accumulated advantages all the way back generations. And he talks about the nuances of Jamaican culture, the sociology, the legal system, and how all those things played a part in the success of his family. And he also has a very, very famous relative that's also extremely powerful, and you can see that their family is a family of outliers as well. So the book is called Outliers, written by Malcolm Gladwell. Again, it's great to see a book review, but take the time, read it for yourself, get some deeper understanding, get your own aha moments from it, like, comment, and share. And once you read it, please feel free to come back, put some comments on there, and tell me what you think. Thanks so much for your time.